This is the Qronge Lava. Is the Qronge Lava the right E-Trike for you? Well, let's find out in today's adventure. I'm Wyoming Rider, and I review electric trikes and electric bikes and other electric vehicles and devices in the most rural state in the country. So come along with me on a new adventure. Rear basket's got a little bit of a dent right there. Not too bad. I think I could probably beat that out with my rubber mallet. Now that looks a lot better. Losing daylight very quickly here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put the basket on, and then I'll just have to put the fenders on after. I normally like to put the fenders on the basket first, but as you can see, it's getting very dark, so running out of time for today. First, let's start off with this beautiful red metallic paint job. I must say this is a beautiful color, and it looks really great in the sunlight. It just really sparkles. Great job on the color, Qronge, because this is just gorgeous. And if you do hear me say Qronge a few times in there, that's because that's how I used to pronounce the name of it, but then I found out that they actually prefer to say Qronge. Anyway, let's go ahead and the next thing I want to talk about here. Next, I want to talk about these awesome 20 by 4 inch wheels. See, these are nice and wide, and they don't appear to have any branding on them that I could find, but they look like they're pretty nice tires. Got some off-road tread on them, so it should do pretty well around here in the wintertime. Next, I'll talk about the suspension here. It does just have these front suspension forks, and you do have a small amount of travel on them, but they do seem to work pretty well. There is no rear suspension or suspension seat post on this trike, and it does come with these plastic fenders in the front and in the rear. It does come with a nice double guarded chain ring in the front. It's not a really large chain ring, but this trike is only meant to go 15 miles an hour, so it should be sufficient for that, because it does also come along with 7 gears, those you could change with this 7-speed Shimano shifter. And it does come on with this 36 volt, 13.5 amp hour battery, and that is of course paired with the 750 watt front motor up here. So yes, this is a front wheel drive track. So this has the single drive up here and the 750 watt motor, which does not appear to have any branding on it that I could find. And as far as the brakes go, these have 160 millimeter rotors. I got one in the front here, and if you look back here, you'll see there's one in the middle and the rear, and hard to see back there. And these brake calipers are just my regular mechanical brakes, and you have your levers on each side, and they do have locking mechanism. That way you can use these as a park brake. You pull them back, and then you just simply pull this back too, and they lock into place just like that. Really simple and easy to use. And it does have these nice looking plastic pedals. It does come with this really nice size rear basket back here. And there is also a front one, but we'll go to that one in a second. But this rear one, measure this is 17 by 19.5 by 10.5 inches tall. So yeah, really good size basket. You see I have all the accessories that came with the trike in there, and still got plenty of room for more. All right, and this front basket here does fold up. As you see it right now, I have it folded up. This has these little hooks. You unhook it there, and it does just like that, and it's scared port dozer. It's okay, little buddy. Anyway, this basket is also removable. So if you pull that out of the way, there's a little button on the top here. You push that in, and it does slide off. And it does have an additional handle you can put on here, and you can carry it around, but I always find that those rattle around, so I don't bother putting them on there. Anyway, to put it back, you just got to line it up, push down, snaps into place, and then you fold this part first, then the sides in, then you fold it up, and then you put the clip back on it, just like that. They do supply you with a foam mount, and this is a nice metal one, so really nice that they give you that. And then you have plenty of space here because the control panel is off to the left here. And I did install one of the supplied mirrors they give you with it, and not particularly my favorite type of mirrors, but hey, they give them to you for free, so can't really complain. They do give you these ergonomic grips, and these come on lots of different bikes and trikes, and they're a little hard, but hey, they feel pretty nice generally overall. I've gotten pretty used to using these. They come on so many bikes. And yeah, here's the other one on the right side, and you also notice that these handlebars have a swept back design. Back this up a little bit so you can see that better. So it should be nice and comfortable when you're riding. Anyway, on this right one over here, you have your horn. and you have your Shimano shifter, and of course you have your rear brake lever here and your front brake lever over here. These are really nice and wide handlebars, but they're not so wide that you can't get them through the door like I've seen on some of these trikes. And even though it's 42 degrees out here, quite warm in the sun, I'll have to take my jacket off there. I'm starting to sweat. Anyway, yeah, that's it for the cockpit there, and except for the part where we will turn it on and go through the controls here in a minute. But first of all, I want to go to the seat now. It does come on a nice squishy seat here with a backrest. I think I do need to tighten it up a little more. Still kind of moves around a little bit, but I'll get that tightened down before we take it out. And I also want to show you how this battery works. Here, we'll move it around to the other side because that sun is so bright on that side. It's really dim this time of year overall, but really bright in the direct sunlight. Anyway, it has a nice little lever in the back. Pull that up. That way you can access your battery, and it does have that key switch you kind of seen on this side. Turn it like that, unlock it. And that battery pulls out really nice and easy, just like that. And then to put it back in, of course, you got to make sure you line it up with this little plastic track. Push it down, clicks into place there, and then you put one of your keys in there, and you turn it back. You turn it once more and it's in the on position. And it does have a little thing I'll show you here to check and see what your battery level's at. Push that, and right now it says it is at full because I did charge it. Thing I wanted to show you, even though this is a front wheel drive track, if we do lean it up here, I can show you this does still have your transaxle, so it's going to make the turning much better. Next, we'll kind of go through the accessories you get with it here. First of all, here's your charger. Since this is a 36 volt battery that does charge to a max of 42 volts, and this is a 2 amp charger. All right, I do want to show you, here's our other mirror. So you get that set of mirrors like the one I have on there. So definitely not my favorite mirrors, because they do have a tendency to flop around with the rough roads and terrain around here. And in this little box, you get a bottle holder. It's like the toughest tape ever all of a sudden. Anyway, here's your bottle holder. So you can mount that on there if you want to. I'm not going to bother. Pull this thing out next. And this, of course, is what I was talking about earlier. This is your little carry handle. You can put on that front basket that I'm not going to bother putting on there because it just tends to rattle around. And you do get these little cargo straps for your rear basket here to hold things down. And you do get a manual air pump. And, of course, you do get the manual. And they do give you some extra pieces here. We got more reflectors and a couple of replacement hubs for the rear wheels there. And I think these other ones are for the front wheel. I probably should put on there. And they do give you some nice tools to put it together with. You even get a adjustable wrench there. And this little handle piece here is for that front basket handle. And there's another little multi-wrench thing. And in this little box here, you also comes with a lock. This is one of the nice little keyed locks. Not going to work great if you're in a really populated area where the bike theft is high, but around here in rural Wyoming, this will work just fine, and heck, most of the time you don't even need one here. And just have this little nice multi-tool with it as well. And they also give you something else really cool that I love to see, and there's only this company and one other that generally gives you these. But this is a nice little bike cover, or trike cover in this case, to cover up your trike so it doesn't get rained on and stuff like that if you don't have room to put it inside. And this also, this rear basket, I forgot to mention earlier, does come with this nice Velcroed liner. And it does have a heavy bottom in it, so it keeps it in place. But then it has these little Velcro. You just strap over like that so the wind doesn't blow it away. Which, yeah, it can happen around here, and it has happened to me before. With a different trike, I had one of these liners like that didn't have that heavy bottom or the Velcro, and it just blew out and flew away and never saw it again. I wanted to stand corrected about that front motor. I just didn't have it turned the right way earlier. But yeah, it is Qronge branded, and yeah, there you go. It says 36 volt motor, 20 inch, and I don't know what the rest of those things mean, but I know it says it is a 750 watt. So yeah, let's go over that part next. All right, next I just want to go over that motor again. So there's a 750 watt and it has a claimed peak wattage output of 1000 watts. And of course, like I said before, these are 20 by 4 inch tires, and this trike does just come with a standard cadence sensor, so which means it's, if you pedal, it's going to give you power based on the rotation of the pedals and not the pressure like a torque sensor. So it's going to make the pedaling really easy, but it's not going to feel quite as natural, see, as a torque sensor would. All right, and next, this has a payload capacity of 350 plus 150 pounds, it says, which I assume they mean maybe 150 pounds of cargo, and then the trike itself can hold 350. So I think that gives us a total of about 500, and it does have 5 pass levels, and they have a claimed range up to 50 miles, but I can tell you there's probably no way in heck that's ever going to happen in my area because there's way too many hills. Always remember this when these companies tell you range. It's always going to be ideal conditions that you'll never be able to meet. Now, if you're like 100 pounds and you ride it everywhere in pass 1 and it's completely level, yeah, you might get that. For most of the real world, yeah, you're never going to get the claimed range. Also want to add with that, the motor is 750 watts, peaks at 1,000 watts, and it has 90 Newton meters torque. Just pretty decent, especially for 36 volt. And the weight of this trike is 108 pounds. So it's not really light. It does fold, as you can see there in the middle, and I'm not going to bother doing that because I don't want to give you the false sense that, yeah, you can just fold this thing up small and fit it in anything. It's quite a large trike. So you put it in a truck, you might get it in a really large SUV, but I can't guarantee you that either because, yeah, this is a 108-pound trike. It is not small, even though it does fold. That will help, but just don't want you to think that this thing is easy and light to move around, because it's not. Other things to note here, this does come with free shipping. It has a 15-day return policy and a 1-year warranty. And like I mentioned before, it does have a 50-mile-an-hour max speed, so they say, and I think we can maybe get a little more. We'll find out. And it can climb hills up to 30%. We'll be testing that out as well. It does have a minimum seat height of 31 inches and a max of 39 inches. And I am 5'10" and 220 pounds, so we're gonna sit on it here and I'll show you what I look like riding it. There we go, that's how easy it is to get on. Like I said, I'm 5'10", so this is what I look like sitting on it. Here's my pedal stroke. That's with the seat all the way down. And that's probably the way I'll leave it because I like mine easy to get on and off of. And yeah, this is it. Here's our front suspension. You'll see there's a little give there, but there is no rear. Next, I try to find a spot here where you have a little bit of shade so you can see the display. Anyway, to turn it on, we're going to hold that power button in the middle. You see, this is a pretty basic display. It's just black and white, no color, no fancy stuff. And I've seen this display on a lot of different bikes and trikes, and it generally works pretty well. First of all, we're going to go through the basic functions. So first of all, let's start up here at the top. So if you want to turn your headlight on, you want to hold down this plus button. You can see it also has a little headlight icon. Hold that down a couple of seconds. You'll see the indicator comes on. Now let's go ahead and check it here. Hard to see in the daylight, but yep, our headlight is on. Go ahead and check the tail light. Yep, you can see our tail light is on. This should also be a brake light, but we'll test that out more probably in another video. So we'll take it out for a night ride. All right, I think I have you even closer now so you can hopefully see this better. And there's 5 levels of pedal assist. So if you hit your plus here, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's how you can tell what pedal assist you're in. And if you hit the minus, it's going to go back down the same way it went up. Now we're in 0. As long as you're in 0, that means we have no throttle. You're good to go there. Now if you, and I'm not going to be able to do it because of the way I'm positioned right now, but if you do hold down this minus, as you see there's a little foot there, that means it's walk mode. And if you hold that down for a few seconds, it's going to take off very slowly and help you walk up for a few seconds. That way, if you need to push it up a hill or something like that, it will assist you because this thing is heavy. It's 108 pounds. So that could come in very, very handy for you. Anyway, if you go back here to the middle button, which is the power button, it's also the menu. So if you hit this once, you see now it's going to go from odometer to trip. Hit it again. It's going to go to the thing that I love to see the most on these bikes and trikes, and it gives you the voltage. So we're at 41.2 volts. Hit it again. It's going to give you the current. This is when you're running. It's going to show you the output of the controller to the motor. And not sure what RM is. We're going to leave that alone. And it does have a timer. And we're back to the odometer. Now, to get into the advanced features, first of all, let me turn this headlight off. You're going to hold down the plus and minus at the same time. All right, and there's PO1. Get back in there. Anyway, I'll pull out the manual here, so make sure that I give you the correct information. PO1 is the display brightness. So we're at 2, which is in the middle. Wow, I was too slow. Go back in there. So I'm going to go up to 3, and we're going to hit that again, and that makes it take effect. Now we're at 2. 2 is where you can change it between kilometers and mile an hour. We're at 1, so we're all at mile an hour, so we're going to leave that alone. Go to the next one. Oh man, this thing does not stay in there more than like a second or 2. All right, so now we're up to 3. And 3 is your voltage. So we're at 36 volt track, so we're going to leave that alone. And we're up to 4. Let's see what 4 does. This is the amount of time before it automatically shuts down. And I mean, you can set this anything from a minute all the way up to 60 minutes, but the default is 10 minutes. Go back in there, and then we're going to go to 5. All right, and what 5 does is the power assist gears. So you can change it, thumbs default to 5. I'm not going to leave it on 5, but you can change that stuff if you really want to. Dang it, don't stay in there long enough. See, like you can do to change it down to 3 to 5, I think. Yep, and we're going to leave it on 5 because that's where I want it at. And next, this is the wheel diameter on PO6. We're just going to leave that alone for now. Wow, this one's really annoying. It doesn't stay in there very long. All right, now we go up to 7. We're going to leave 7 alone because that has to do with the magnets, and you don't want to mess with the magnets. And PO8 is a very important one. As you can see, I have mine already set up to 99. And what this does, this is your speed. And it does come, I think, defaulted to 40 kilometers, because this is in kilometers. I set it all the way up to 99. So we'll get to see how fast it really goes when we take it out for the ride. I don't know if I'll do that in this video, or I'll probably do it in a separate video. All right, now we're up to 10. 10 is the drive mode setting. This makes it where you can turn your throttle on and off. See if you only wanted to use the pedals or use both. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that alone. All right, next we go up to 13, and this is the cruise control function. And if it's like most of these bikes, it's that minus button as well. Try to remember to test that out for you, but I may forget. And next at 16, this is where you can reset your mileage on your odometer. I think that is it. Yep, now we're back to PO1. So that is all of the settings. And that's it for the display settings. So that's all there is there. And one other thing I want to add that I forgot to show earlier, totally forgot to show you the throttle. This has a half twist throttle, and there's a horn button right underneath. So let's turn it on so you can hear the horn. That is what the horn sounds like. And that horn is located down there in the headlight. Thank you so much for coming along today's adventure of the Qronge Lava. In the second part of this review, I will take it out and we'll do all the normal tests. So stay tuned for that. And if you would like one of these awesome Qronge Lava E-Trikes or any of the other Qronge bikes, please use my link in the description below and my coupon code, which I'll also put down. And please like, subscribe, and share this video with others. And I'll see you in the next